mosquitoes. Goodbye, Salt Lake. It's been real. Glad I got to see a little bit of the city yesterday, but I'm ready to move on. All the greenery comes out, the rolling hills when we enter Idaho. So good to be back in our semi-region of the country. We're getting closer and closer to back to Oregon and Washington, and it just feels good. Oh my god, there's a whole field of cows. I'm so distracted. Welcome to my gorgeous view at the first rest stop in Idaho. And we got these maps. One of them is for good old Montana, which soon enough we will be there, so. This is gonna give you guys a throwback. Do you remember the original OG Microsoft wallpaper that we all had back in the 2000s? Look at this. Look at outside of my camper in Idaho here. It just really resembled it to me, the clouds and like the curve in the hill there. So this is what we just woke up to, right in front of our campsite. There's the camper and the beautiful sound of these little sheep. These are the two security dogs. So obviously those are Great Pyrenees that protect them in case like dogs or other animals try to come over and harass them. Guys, all I'm doing is eating a rice cake. And this is what happens. No, Ricky! So, we are now going for a hike. There's a bunch of trails here on the BLM land that we're staying at. So we're going to check out those trails, see if they're worth any views, I should say. And I'm really winging it because nothing really came up in the All Trails app, but it tells you that there's routes here. So this is a trailhead as well on the BLM land. But then later on, we're going to head over to a shorter hike outside of Pocatello with a really nice view. So. So beautiful, but it's so steep. But I mean, it looks like a picture. Like, look at that. This is completely demolishing me. It is so steep. They call it the Chinese Peak, and it just keeps going. It keeps swirling up the hill, and it looks like it's never ending. But the views even from here are spectacular. Found a bullet casing right here. So this is the steepness of the hill. I know it's harder to catch on camera, but there's the other end of the BLM land, this little loop where you can camp, and it goes and curves down, and you kind of have to put your boots into sport mode. So this BLM land kind of goes from the beginning of it down south of the land, and there's kind of a turnabout, which you can see right here. So you're kind of limited in your spaces. You can't camp in the grass areas. There's a lot of sheep and goats, as you guys saw, and so it's really scarce of what you can actually do. Then there's the hiking trails and like the ATV trails, and then at the beginning where we actually are down this road, there's about a little bit of room in the turnabout as well, and it's kind of the trailhead as well, where people camp, and there's little pavilions down below. And then there's a public restroom as well, which is nice if you're just coming for the day. But just be aware, there is not a lot of actual spaces here, especially if you come on a weekend. There is good cell coverage here, which I think is super important, especially for us people who still work. So from beginning to end, you get about 2 to a high 4 bars of Verizon service. I'm out of water. So, gotta go to Fred Meyer, which I'm so excited. That's how you know you're closer to back home, being back in the PNW, is we have a Freddy's. I am currently at the Red Hill Trail. This is a pretty popular smaller hike here in Pocatello, and it has an awesome view, which I will show you guys, and a really interesting one, which I'll kind of compare it to what I think it looks like. Made it to the top, and this looks just like the ruins in Athens, Greece to me. I don't know if they're trying to go with that, but it's really, really unique. This is so grand, and you would never believe it's up on this random hilltop. Over here is like the university, and it expands all throughout there. And then 360s of the mountains. Gorgeous. There's some churches over there. And then there is the Idaho State University Arena. Down this hill, coming up the trail, there's actually dorms. I mean, that's super epic to have a dorm right here. It's so big. It is so big, and all I can think about is just being in the non-tropical version of Greece. So the first part of this hike was paved, so it was like a regular paved trail alongside of kind of the big cemetery that they have there, which that cemetery, a lot of the tombstones back in the 1800s, they actually hand carved with hand tools, and you know, primarily there was a lot of infants and deceased babies, unfortunately, and there was actually a picture with a sign there that showed a woman back in the 1800s at the same cemetery. we are in the Shoshone Bannock casino. We're gonna go inside, check it out, walk around, see what kind of little stores and shops that they have inside. I'm not a gambler, so it's just kind of a thing to do. We stopped at the trading post here on the Shoshone Bannock Reservation. This is in Fort Hall, Idaho. So it's great to see the area, see the tribal lands, and kind of the landscape, because every res is totally different. Big stick, Ricky. Oh my goodness. 5 seconds outside, and this is what you come back with? So I just came back from Fred Meyer. So this is going to be kind of like a putting away groceries. See what I get now that I actually get to have a fridge. That's right. I'm so excited. You're probably like, Bella, you're pathetic. My favorite organic pancake mix. I got 2 of these because we go through them so much, because I'm like all of a sudden now into breakfast. I was never a breakfast food person. I wouldn't even eat breakfast, and now being on the road, like I've grown a love to it. Like my day has not started without it.